Good morning, folks. Hi, Phil McPhail here with United Country Lifestyle Properties, Maine. Have you been dreaming about an escape property up in the state of Maine in a very remote location? Well, come on with me. Let's go hide out in the woods together today. We're going to check out this 24 by 24 foot off-grid cabin on 41 acres. This property has everything you want for an escape property. We've got a water feature with a brook, a small pond. We've got remote access, we've got trail access, lots of game in this area. So let's go check out the camp and then we'll look at the land. The cabin is 24 feet by 24 feet, and right over here we got a 5 by 12 screen-in porch. This is T111 siding, composite wood siding. We got soffits that are vinyl and a metal roof on this cabin. Right here we've got the wood stove chimney, metal Bestis chimney, all posted up here. Underneath the camp it sits on wooden posts set on top of concrete slabs. There's no foundation. It's a camp. It will move a little bit with the frost, but it's we'll go in and check it out the inside here in a minute. Hey, before we go inside, let's talk about Camp Go Away. So when you get here, you'll see this little carving. I think it's better. It would be better named Camp Getaway because you're certainly out here in the middle of the woods. Come around this side. Let's check out this before we go inside. We've got a couple of things over here. We've got a propane entrance here. They're running a 20-pound tank. You could easily hook up a larger tank here, torpedoes, 100-pound tanks. And there is a rainwater collection system on this side of the cabin. Let's go on inside and check it out. First thing we see when we come in here, folks, is this 5 by 12 screen porch. Nice place to sit if the bugs are getting a little thick. As we move into the cabin, we come into the kitchen area. We've got a sink over here. Like I said, there's no septic. This sink just drains out onto the ground. Then we got a little dining area here. And then we're going to go over here and see the living space. We've got wood stove with a brick hearth in here, and that's plumbed into that chimney that we saw outside earlier. Around the back of us here, we've got a bathroom. There's no lights in this cabin, folks, besides gas lanterns, and we probably don't need to light that up. If you want to see this cabin with a flashlight, you can come check it out. There is a sink and a shower stall in this room for a bathroom, and there's actually room for a toilet should you ever want to install one. So you'd have a 3/4 bath, or today we call this a full bath. A little more storage over here in this corner of the cabin. We got wood veneer sheets for wall coverings. Upstairs is an unfinished attic space. There's a set of stairs up there. If you wanted to convert that to some bedroom space, you certainly could. Completely dark up there, no windows or anything, so we're not going to be able to see that on our cameras that we have here today. But if you want to come see the inside of this cabin, give me a call. We'll be glad to take you through with some flashlights. Out here around the cabin, we've got about an acre of cleared land here of lawn and some field. There is an outhouse, porta potty that comes with the property. There's no septic here. There is a bathroom inside, as we saw, but you'd need to put in septic system in order to hook that up. We've made our way down to the edge of the floodplain of Alder Stream, and this is mostly softwood, very thick growth here, and some older cedars and spruce fir, some maple. To get across this stream, there is a trail here we'll show you, but it needs a bridge, and the water is so high right now, we can't get close to this stream without wading up to our knees. So we've had an exceptional July and August of rainfall in Maine, probably the most we've seen in decades. But the elevations here run between 520 and 570 feet. This would be some of the lowest ground. Camp is up on one hill. The other side of the stream is another nice ridge line. There's a nice mix of hardwoods in a lot of the property. Most of the softwood you're going to find down here in the low ground near the brook. And while we're talking about walking through thick woods, you may have noticed I've got these on. I've mentioned this in the past, but I can never tell you enough. Protect your eyes when you're out here walking in the woods. This is a yellow safety glass, so I can see really well, but protect my eyes so you don't get a stick in there and end up in the hospital trying to get that patched up. Let's go take a look at a little more of the land. Okay, we're back up here, up above the brook now, and you can see we're in an area of a lot more hardwood. We've got some poplar in here, we've got beech, maple, birches, a little bit of all the hardwood species mixed in here except for oaks. The soils on this property are a mix of complex loams, pretty stony, not great farmland. I mean, you could make some food plots in here with some effort, but Overall, the soil on this property is good for wildlife, forestry uses, maybe some limited grazing if you want to do an off-grid homestead in here, clear a few acres for your livestock. You could probably get some pasture to grow on this all right. It's going to be rocky, like I said, so primarily forestry soils. Standing here next to a pretty nice maple tree, and I've seen enough maple in here if you wanted to do some of your own sugaring operation for maple syrup. I think that would work pretty well here. Could also tap some of the birches for birch syrup. Before we forget to tell you about the brooks, we got Alders Brook that runs through this property, about 850 feet through it. And we've got 300 or 400 feet on the outlet of Abbey Pond. Both of these streams have our nursery for wild brook trout. The different beaver pond sections that come through the property, got a little creek running, mostly ponded. Be great waterfowl habitat and waterfowl hunting there. The white-tailed deer, we've seen sign of them moving all through this, following the stream on both sides. Some nice hardwood. It's a really nice piece of land. We're standing on Smith Road now, and this property is near the very end of Smith Road. Smith Road is a private road, legal access, deeded right away. As you're coming in across here, the lot, there's some little clearings that a past owner has made here. Might be a nice place to plant a little garden. And we're just about to the driveway of the cabin now. Like I said, this road is rough. It's a rocky, gravelly, muddy road. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. One thing it does do, it keeps out unwanted visitors. People aren't going to come riding out here on a joyride unless they own a property in here. They're probably going to stay off this road. You don't need four-wheel drive. You need a little ground clearance. And just, get ready for 1.5 miles, 2 miles of rough road before you get to the cabin. Other than that, it's pretty good access. Right here at the end of the driveway, we do have a steel gate up. Probably not totally necessary, but a little extra security when you're not around. So let's go take a look around and talk about the location here in Brownville. Let's talk about the location here at 609 Smith Road in the town of Brownville. In case you haven't heard of Brownville, I'm not surprised. Only 1,100 people call this town home. This is an area that was once completely timber and iron production back in the early 1900s, and it's still a pretty big timber area, although outdoor recreation has really come to the front because of the natural environment around here, lakes and streams and habitat for wildlife. A lot of people come here for that. The location, the nearest service town to this property here in Brownville is about 8 miles away in the town of Milo. Milo's got a little clinic there, grocery store, gas stations, hardware, building supplies, about everything you need for everyday life. A little further away, about 48 miles, is the city of Bangor, and there is the International Airport, large chains of stores, plenty of shopping, convention centers, civic centers, concert series, a little bit of everything in that city. Northern Maine's largest city. City of Portland, about 50 miles from here, about a 2.5-hour ride. You've probably heard of Portland. It's Maine's largest city. And Boston is just over a 4-hour drive right to this property. As I mentioned, this is an outdoor recreational destination town for those who know. What can you do from here? Well, you can ATV ride from this property right to the trailhead. You can also snowmobile right to this cabin over the snowmobile trails. The deep cold water lake of Schoodic Lake is about 3 miles to the Lakeview Plantation boat landing. There's a beautiful boat landing there. That lake is over 7,000 acres, surface acres. It's nearly 200 feet deep, crystal clear water, and one of the most incredible waterfront views in this part of Maine of Mount Katahdin. A little further to the north, probably a half-hour ride from here, Katahdin Ironworks. That gate will get you into the North Maine woods in that section, and that would include the Pleasant River system and Gulf Haggis. For those who haven't heard of that, that is Maine's Grand Canyon. And if you haven't seen it, my brother Peter did a video on Gulf Haggis on his hike around the Rim Trail. What else do we have in this area? Well, we've got some amazing hunting opportunities. The white-tailed deer in this area are very well known. If you haven't seen it, check out on YouTube the Brownville Deer Pantry. That gentleman has a ongoing YouTube channel where he has live camera feeds, especially in the late fall or winter time. You can check that out almost any time of day and see dozens of white-tailed deer there feeding at the deer pantry. So don't forget, bookmark that page, Brownville Deer Pantry. Check it out. Hey folks, before we wrap up this video, don't forget, like the video if you do, share it with some friends, and please subscribe to our channel. If you like coming here and watching our videos, seeing what's going on in Maine, real estate and the lifestyle up here in the state of Maine, don't forget, turn on all notifications once you hit that subscription. Also, don't forget, if you want to stay up to date on what's happening in the Maine real estate market, sign up for this newsletter we put out on a monthly basis. We won't bombard you with spam, but we will send this to you, but you have to ask to be signed up for that and hit that subscription to it here on the screen or down in the link below the video. Hey folks, thanks for coming on this tour of 609 Smith Road in the town of Brownville with me today. Let's wrap up the video with all the terms. The price on this cabin in the 41 acres is $119,000. The taxes for 2022, 23 isn't out yet, but last year's taxes were $1,012 for the entire property. We've got 850 feet on Alder Brook. We've got about another 300 or 400 feet on the outlet of Abbey Pond. We've got 41 acres that's been surveyed, mixed wood growth, some beautiful hardwood, no recent timber harvest. Really nice piece of property with all kinds of trail access for ATV and snowmobile. So if you've got any questions, give me a call or email me in the link below. Give me a call at 800-286-6164. Come see me today. Let's go take a look at this together.